Hey guys, so oh my goodness, so this video has been a long time coming. I got microblading done, and so I just want to take a few minutes to kind of talk to you about the procedure, the process, and kind of why I decided to do it. So microblading is a form of semi-permanent tattoo. And so what ends up happening is you are essentially having somebody use a technician. Usually they have to be licensed and all that, so it's all legit. And they use a blade. And the blade is used to just cut into your skin, and then they fill that cut with ink, and it's an ink that kind of absorbs into your skin, and so it looks like brush strokes. It's not the traditional form of eyebrow tattooing that was done previously. This one specifically to look like I said, brush strokes. So those of you that have been following this channel for a while may have seen videos of me kind of showing you what my brows looked like before, and they were incredibly thin. And so the procedure, this is how it works. So you go in, you get that done. It takes about, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour, depending of course on how thin your brows are and how many strokes that they have to do, right? And so the first time I went was a month ago, and today I had the follow-up appointment where my technician was able to kind of see, you know, how much my skin, because there's a 30-day healing time to see how my skin responded to the ink and so forth. What we discovered is, so she went in light the first appointment. So I'll show you pictures of what my brows looked like before and after the first appointment. And they looked great after the first appointment, but it was definitely like not as heavy and light. And so we're like, okay, we start with this. She starts with the lighter application to see kind of how my skin responds to it and so forth. And then if necessary, during the follow-up appointment, which is a month later, they determine, or your technician will determine how much more you need to add. So after I went back today and she saw what it looked like after a month, we were really stumped about why my brows, basically it was almost like I hadn't gotten tattooing done. Like it looked like it did not take. So the second time around, she added a lot more brush strokes and much darker pigment. The pigment she used for me was almost black. So if you are in my skin tone and you like a full kind of more dramatic look, you're gonna probably wanna go with a black pigment, or ink rather. Is it painful? That's the question that a lot of people usually ask. It's not, so they numb you. So there's numbing, like before you even start, there's numbing, and then even during it, she applied more numbing solution, maybe 2 or 3 times during the whole thing. And so, you feel it. Like I felt it. Is it like excruciating pain when you want to scream and all that? No. Like, is it painful after the fact? No. Yeah, I could feel it. So I could definitely feel it, but everyone's different. Like I have a really low tolerance for pain. Even though I gave birth and I'm a mother, I have a really low tolerance for pain. So I felt it. So there were moments where I was kind of jumping, you know, like, ooh, ow, ooh, I felt that. But it's not that long. And so, and I really only felt it more in here. And then when she was like all out here, which is where traditionally people say they feel it more, I didn't feel it. So the technician I use in Massachusetts, her name is Mila, and her company is called the Brow Muse. And so I will be going back in another month to kind of see how this healed over for the final and third application. But most people are going to only need 2 applications. Some people kind of get away with 1 because they go back and it's like perfect and nothing needs to be retouched. But the way it's done is two application, particularly I think for darker skin. And one of the things, because Mila is also an esthetician, and so we talked a lot about skin and skincare, and she gave me amazing, listen, if you go to Mila here in Massachusetts, I'll put a link down to her Instagram channel or her Instagram page where you can find her. I'll tell you this, is her skin looks amazing and she knows skincare. So I was taking notes on all this skincare stuff I'm going to do because I'm going through some weird stuff with my skin. This happens every time, around this time every year. But that aside, I'm really happy with my microblading that I've done. I think it's an incredible procedure. It costs $650 here in Massachusetts, but I know people like in New York and some places it's $800. In some other places it's a little bit cheaper than that. I know even in Rhode Island there's somebody who does it, I think, for $400. So there are places you can go where maybe it's not as expensive, but you're gonna be looking for anywhere from, I would say, $400 to $900 for this procedure, depending upon where you live. And so I really recommend working with Mila. I recommend anybody who is over filling your brows, because I'm not great at filling your brows. Like, I'm just not great at filling your brows. I never have been. Some days I'm really on and they look great, but other days I'm like, no. And honestly, it is such a confidence booster to just wake up in the morning and see your face. So, and not feel like you have to do something, you know what I mean? And so for now, for aftercare, for the next 3 days, I can't wet the eyebrow at all. I can, I'm gonna apply like an alcohol swab to it tonight. And then there's a solution or an ointment that she's provided that I'll be using for the next 3 days. But then for the first 10 days, like no makeup, no nothing, like just clear. So I'm filming this today, but then I won't be filming for a couple of weeks while I let this heal and kind of do what it needs to do. But I already had makeup on my face, so I'm like, let me get here and get this done. But I'm really happy with it. Stay tuned to kind of watch the whole procedure. Not the whole procedure, but you'll get to see kind of what it looks like to get microblading done. And if you have any questions for me at all, just go ahead and ask. I'm really open about it. I've snapped about this on Snapchat. Follow me on Snapchat, I'm Lisa Alamode. Yeah, anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Okay guys, so I actually muted this part out because I'm not saying anything important. But I wanted to mute it out so I can tell you that before even going to Mila's, which is where I got it done, I did have to fill in my own brows, because you want your technician to see how you like to naturally fill in your brows and like the shape that you like. So that's the first step to getting this done, is actually filling in your own brows. So these are the pigments. I just wanted to show you really quickly what the pigments look like. It's just an ink. And this is what the blade looks like. And this is just what the setup looks like. This is at the Brow Muse in Wellesley, Massachusetts. It's really nice. It's like you're going to the spa, kinda. And the first thing she does is, after she's taken off what I've done, so because she kind of sees the shape, she fills it in herself. After she's filled it in, we go in and she threads it to clean up all that extra hair that grows all crazy that I did not clean up before I went in to visit her. By the way, I think I'm into threading now, because I had never had threading done before, and I kind of like it. So yeah, so we do that. So this is what it looks like after the threading is done, and we have kind of an example of what my brows should look like, or close to what they should look like after she's done with the microblading procedure. So she's just filling it in here a little bit more, and yeah, this is what we're hoping we see on the other end. She does an amazing job. Seriously, nobody can fill in my brows because I don't have any. So she just fills them in way better than I ever could. And so the next step is now to numb. So she's applying a numbing solution all over my brows to prepare me for the procedure. And now on to the microblading procedure. Now this isn't, I'm not filming the entire thing, but this is essentially it. She just dips it in the ink and then cuts you. I hate the way that sounds so harsh, but that is what's happening. So I don't want anyone to not be clear about it. So aftercare is really important. Of course, you want to keep your hands sanitized. You're susceptible to infection and all of those things. So you want to be super careful. I didn't talk a lot about aftercare, so I'll just mention it here now as you guys are watching this. So again, afterwards, for the first 3 days. So first of all, if you're going to do this, make sure your hair is washed and you have showered before you go, because you're not going to be able to shower for the first 3 to 10 days. You will take a bath and you'll wash up, but you should really avoid any steam or really any heat. You absolutely can't let water touch the brows at all for the first 10 days or for the first 3 days, 3 to 10, I don't know, something like that. These technicians can tell you more for sure. And so that's super important. And as an oily girl, it's recommended that you try to keep the area free of moisture, free of sweat and oils that you even create for yourself after that 3-day period. So I'll be using blotting sheets by Shiseido, because those ones are like the best ones ever, to kind of keep me matte. But you'll notice that I'm super shiny and kind of oily looking. But this is it after the first procedure. This is what I was left with, and this is what it looks like after the procedure that I just got done yesterday. This is yesterday's results. So as you can see, much darker, much more dramatic, much more my style, and I'm super in love with it, and I look forward to seeing what it looks like in 30 days again. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and ask questions below.